After din and disruption in Parliament, INDIA delegation to visit Imphal now. Udupi filming controversy gets bigger. BJP hits the streets, alleges go slow in case. Government speeds up UCC process. No more deadline extensions by law panel. India gives it back. Boycotts FISU games after China's staple visa provocation. Welcome back, friends, to this Friday edition of Burning Question. For over 80 days now, the situation in Manipur has remained tense. The ethnic clashes have claimed lives of over 160 citizens and over 9,000 have been displaced in a communal strife that has hit the state. But the opposition just refuses to stop playing politics, from disrupting the proceedings in Parliament to now forming a delegation to visit the state tomorrow. It's politics galore, and that too over a situation as sensitive as Manipur violence.
On the seventh day of the Parliament session, the proceedings were disrupted by the India bloc. Meanwhile, in Manipur, the peace talks have gathered pace. Schools have reopened and normalcy could soon be a reality.
आज सर बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि घर में बैठते बैठते हम बोर हो जाते थे और स्कूल के बारे में सोचते रहते थे. अभी स्कूल आ गए, अच्छा लग रहा है, पर घर की और याद आ रही है.
मिस कर रहे हैं अभी जो स्टूडेंट्स नहीं आ रहे हैं, आपके दोस्त, आपके ब्रदर्स, उनको मिस कर रहे हैं?
हाँ सर, अभी वो लोग पता नहीं कब आएंगे या आएंगे कि नहीं, वो हम तो मिस कर रहे हैं.
But opposition MPs, as part of their flow strategy, have decided to visit Manipur.
India Alliance has decided in our meeting that there will be a MP's delegation to Manipur, and we all feel that the purpose of this meeting is, the delegation is to meet the people who are in pain, understand their grievances and take up with the concerned authorities about it.
They seek answers from the centre.
आज इंडिया पार्टीज की बैठक में वो तय हुआ कि एक डेलीगेशन विपक्षी पार्टियों का, इंडिया पार्टीज का खासकर वहाँ डेलीगेशन जाएगा. कल दिन भर हिली रीजन में, हिल एरिया में और वैली एरिया में, दोनों जगह जो है दो तीन रिलीफ का, ये जो अभी जो रिलीफ कैंप्स वहाँ पे हैं, वायलेंस हिट एरियाज में जो रिलीफ कैंप्स हैं, वहाँ पे जाएंगे.
Manipur has a long history of violence. In 1993, Manipur burned for 8 months. Can opposition sidestep the sensitivities in the state for politics? That's the burning question tonight. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Alright, let's have a short, quick discussion and fact check the opposition on its demands, which is A, that Parliament should debate, or the Rajya Sabha should debate under Rule 267, which can be a lengthy conversation inside the Parliament. Also, that Prime Minister should speak both in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Joining us to discuss, Ravi Srivastava, he's political analyst, leans towards the Aam Aadmi Party. We also have Lokesh Jindal, leader of the Congress Party, joining us live. In a bit, we would have Sardar R.P. Singh of the BJP. But let's begin with you, Ravi Srivastava. I'll come to the Congress and I have a list of questions to ask. Is this really obstructionism, plain and simple, Ravi Srivastava? Opposition has all the right to put across its demands. Opposition has all the right and very welcome step there of the delegation going to Manipur to meet the victims, to understand the situation on the ground. Hopefully they would come back wiser about the complexities and the sensitivities involved. But insofar as Parliament is concerned, Ravi Srivastava, is this plain obstructionism? Do we have a sense of, does the opposition have a sense of its own history, own precedents when it comes to seeking Prime Minister's intervention in the debate on Manipur?
Abhishek, first of all, there is no important business other than the discussion on the Manipur in the parliament. All other business can wait, all other business can be deferred, but most important is Manipur. You tell me, before 19th of July, when the video of that unfortunate lady surfaced, two women, who was talking about Manipur?
Yeah.
We were saying there is situation, there is unrest, there is problem, there is ethnic violence, some meaty cookie skirmishes are going on. Some places have got curfew. Army has gone there. Sri Rahul Gandhi has gone there. Sri Amit Shah has gone there. Everybody has gone there. But what is the situation? Nothing. We didn't talk about it unless that video surfaced, and not nationally, internationally, India's image has been tarnished. There is no important business. 7 days have been lost. The valuable business at Parliament. What government is saying today, they could have done on the very first day. The Women and the Child Development Minister should have been camping in Manipur all this time. She is only shouting on, yelling on Parliament for nothing. What is she doing? There is a lady who is a governor of the state. There is a president who is a tribal lady who is a president of the country. Is that despite women occupying such high positions in the country, and the women are paraded naked? It's a shame, utter shame. And if you are comparing
Ravi
it,
Srivastava,
Congress did it,
Ravi
or
Srivastava,
somebody else did it.
Ravi Srivastava.
Yeah. Okay.
We understand the sensitivities. There's no need to really repeat and underscore and emphasize the gruesomeness of the video again and again. The fact that for 50 days the video was hidden. The man who shot that video and his mobile, both are in the custody of investigators now. We would know in a while, maybe in few days, Ravi Srivastava, why he kept it in his phone for 50 days, why he released it on a certain day. That's a matter of investigation. Without, getting into, again, harping again on the video again and again, let me get in Lokesh now. Lokesh, your party has had a long history of governance in the country. And in Manipur, they were in power from 2010 to 17. And from 2004, of course, the Congress was in power at the center. I am going back to 1993, when the biggest flare-up in the history of Manipur happened. Naga Kuki violence that left 750 dead. It started in the month of April in 1993, went on till December, which is about 9 months. In the month of August, the then MOS home, Rajesh Pilot, visited Manipur, spent good 3.5 hours in Imphal, 2 hours of which were spent at the airport listening to some delegations. 1 hour was spent at the residence of Chief Minister, obviously discussing the situation over lunch. And the MOS home was back in Delhi. On 12th of August 1993, a short duration discussion happened in Parliament, which was responded to by MOS home. And the matter ended there. 9 months of violence, 750 dead. In fact, the repercussions of that violence went on till 1998 for almost 8-9 years. That's the record of the Congress party, Lokesh Jindal. Now, with that precedent, with that history and that record, you want Prime Minister to speak? You are not even ready to listen to the Union Home Minister, who has spent, by the way, 4 days in Manipur.
The question over here is the manner in which BJP handled Manipur crisis. Already there was discontent. When the cookies, they were complaining of displacements while the surveys were being conducted by the BJP government in Manipur. And following the High Court's judgment, the discontent, it got further increased. And after 3rd of May, the BJP was clueless as to how to deal with this situation. The worst was the Chief Minister Biren Singh calling cookies terrorists. Is it acceptable from a Chief Minister to call the very citizens who voted for him as terrorists? This is unacceptable. This is where we demanded that the center should have intervened. It should have dismissed the government in Manipur, immediately imposed the president's rule. It must have mobilized the security personnel's army and should have
Lokesh,
brought about
this is
restoration
national
of law
television.
and order.
People are
Certainly.
watching you. You know, this is national television, Lokesh. People are watching you. And they heard my question.
I know that.
And I gave the precedent. You are sort of
Yes,
sidestepping
certainly.
it, dodging it. That's
But
not good. It doesn't look good on you.
can
Please
come
answer the
across a
question that I asked.
precedent. No, nowhere can you come across a precedent where a Congress leader would be calling the very people who voted to him a terrorist. Biren Singh called cookies terrorists. Is this the way a chief minister
I am on the
ought to
question of
behave?
whether the Prime Minister should speak. I'll
The
come to that
larger
later. We have
question is,
discussed
why
it.
was
We have
the
discussed
center
it.
quiet?
We have discussed it.
Why
What
was
the government has done, we
why
have
was the
discussed
center
it
quiet?
over the last month and a half. No, center is not quiet. Listen,
No,
I am
so tell
asking
me
you a
one thing,
question which is limited
what were
to,
the
as of now,
proactive measures
on
taken by the center?
whether the Prime Minister should speak, and does the Congress party has locus to ask when they themselves made only their MOS home speak after a 3.5-hour visit to Imphal.
Congress is leading the opposition, and as the leading the opposition, it is the rightful duty for the Congress to make the government responsible to the legislature. That's how the Constitution mandates the functioning of Indian democracy. And Congress is doing the right thing. It has
Agreed.
brought to the notice the government.
I began by saying the opposition is doing the right thing by visiting Manipur.
Crisis. It is the no confidence motion which made government
Agreed.
serious about the Manipur crisis. And whatever is happening right now, recently
You have right
the
to believe
government has
so.
decided to carry out a CBI investigation. The probe would be the entire judgment would be in Assam, outside Manipur. All these measures are taking place in response to what the opposition pressurized the government into. It is only after the opposition pressurized
Very
the
good.
government,
Congratulations
the
to
government
you.
became more
And that's what the
conscious of
opposition
what's
should be
happening
doing.
in Manipur and started acting. It should have acted prior. It should be proactive in all its policy formulation and also in the measurements, as also in mitigating the crisis. Now it's a full-blown crisis in Manipur.
You are
Where
not
is your
sounding very
intelligence system?
convincing. No.
A complete
No,
intelligence
you are not
failure,
sounding.
a complete
No.
failure of administration, a complete failure of policy, a complete failure
You
of
are not
political
sounding
system.
very convincing,
Now, over
Lokesh.
here-
You are
No,
dodging the
I
question
don't need to
again.
convince
So how
anybody. I don't
long
need
can
to
I indulge
convince
with you?
anybody. I am putting forward certain
I asked you
facts,
second time.
and on the
The
basis
question
of
is,
these facts, I am speaking on behalf of the people of Manipur. People of Manipur deserve something better.
yeah, okay. Second time you dodge the question. Before I go to Ravi Srivastava again, let me get in RP Singh, Sardar RP Singh. The charge against you is that irrespective of what the Congress party did, irrespective of what opposition does, you could have handled the situation better. Just respond to that, then I again go back to Ravi Srivastava and ask some very pinpointed questions about opposition conduct.
Well, first I take very strong objection to the Congress spokesperson who is saying that the Chief Minister said that cookies are terrorists. I'm so sorry. I mean, he's misquoting and misleading the nation through your channel, which is wrong. And then they are not trying to pacify the people there. They are trying to further deteriorate the situation. And that's the concern when opposition also with it. They are not trying to help the people. I mean, I have to say it's just a photo op. Better is that you pass joint resolution for Manipur, and then the Home Minister has categorically said, yes, sir. I mean, don't show me your WhatsApp university.
It says that Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh declares cookie militants as terrorists, condemns attack on civilians.
I have document from
the date is on 28th of May.
Give me a second. Thank you. Thank you so much. So again, let me reiterate that they are just doing a photo. They are just doing a photo of Mr. Rahul Gandhi went there earlier. What did he did? I mean, what was the outcome of that? I mean, except just going doing a photo of it, coming back, and people of the Manipur were there on streets when he was listed that they didn't wanted him to be there, and they were blaming Congress party for whatever is happening in Manipur. And they said in the genesis of the issue, it is the Congress party. It's not us. It's the people of Manipur who was there on streets when Rahul Gandhi was listing that. But that's not the issue. Issue is when Home Minister is categorically stating that I'm prepared to answer each and every question of yours, and we will discuss this in detail. It's not the issue whether it's 167 or 267, whatever. The issue is let Manipur be discussed in the Parliament and the resolution passed. That's a bigger concern. And in 1993, you're referring to. I have a document. Which categorically states it was State Home Minister which gave an answer in the Parliament. Not it's a Rajya Sabha document. Which it was not the Home Minister, neither Prime Minister who answered the questions or who answered the details.
Yeah, I mentioned that, and let me just ask a little more pointed question to Lokesh. Lokesh, what is your demand? Do you want president's rule in Manipur? Do you want the chief minister to be sacked and president rule imposed?
First of all, we want the government to answer as to why did this conflict reach to this extent? What were the lapses? What were the inadequacies? What were the failures? And has the government
who's best placed to answer that?
Who's
best placed to answer that? Let me wager. Is it not the Home Minister of the country who has spent 4 days in Manipur who's best placed to answer that?
No, absolutely not. In India,
where was the collective responsibility in 1993? Where was the collective responsibility in 1993? Where was the collective responsibility in 1993?
What's happening now is important.
No, because they pin you down. You want to dodge them because they will pin you down, right?
Happening in Manipur.
Okay, let me come to 2011. Okay, 1993 is too far. Hazy memory. The Congress does not want to do anything with it. Come to 2011.
We are
the longest blockade in Manipur for 123 days. Hold on.
I think you went back to your college days.
But then we work by precedent, right? We work by precedents. We work by how you conducted yourself. I am asking questions to RP Singh. I have asked questions. We have asked questions to BJP.
Sir, let's
of course, not in the past because it's an uncomfortable past for you. Not in the past because it's a very discomforting, uncomfortable past for you. Lokesh, come to 2011.
If you have to discuss about the causes, effects, and the entire incident in the historical perspective,
it's about responsibility in a democracy. With what face? It's said that when you seek justice, you have to go with clean hands. Are the hands of the Congress party clean is what I am asking.
We want lives of Manipuris to be safeguarded. That's more important. Forget justice. Right now we have to safeguard the lives of Manipuris.
But do you have locus with clean hands to ask the government whether the Prime Minister should speak or not?
First and the foremost is the lives of Manipuris. They are Indian citizens. They are human beings.
Sardar RP Singh, please respond to him. What has happened?
Talking about natural justice, forget it. Whether who's the culprit, but the primary task is to protect the lives of the people over there, sir. And it's the primary responsibility.
Lokesh, you are monopolizing this. I am not going to allow that. Sardar RP Singh, hold on.
Who is responsible for protecting the lives of the citizens? Who is responsible? Opposition? Civil society?
Lokesh, let's not get into this elementary class 6. Lokesh, let's not get into this elementary class 6 kind of civics.
It is.
No, let's not get into. Lokesh, this is being unfair. Lokesh, you are being unfair. Lokesh, stop.
Not being unfair.
Lokesh, hold on. Lokesh, stop. You are being doubly unfair. We are having a conversation on whether the opposition, while it does its duty and diligence by going to Manipur and trying to put the government on the mat, absolute right in a democracy, and that's what the opposition should do. My question was, let me go to Ravi Srivastava because Lokesh seems to be monopolizing this while at the same time dodging ad nauseam the question I am asking. Ravi Srivastava. Okay, hold on. Let me go to Ravi Srivastava. He's your ally. He'll speak. Ravi Srivastava. Let's go to 2011. The longest blockade in the history of Manipur at about 120 plus days. I think 130 days. And a short duration discussion happened in Parliament. The MOS home at that time responded. When the Prime Minister was sitting in the House, in fact, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh got up and left midway. There was no comment from the real power behind the throne, Sonia Gandhi, on Manipur. And the same Congress party, Ravi Srivastava, wants only the Prime Minister to speak. I mean, can we be a little fair within the larger dynamics of democracy at play?
The Prime Minister speaks practically on every subject, and this is the most critical subject. Now, once you start going into the past has got
Okay,
no
that's
limitation.
so. The fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is an eloquent speaker is being held against him? Is that what you're saying? Manmohan Singh, he was someone who was absolutely silent. He would look over his shoulder. He would not speak. So let's spare him. But because Narendra Modi speaks, he has to speak on Manipur.
I would say his priorities are misplaced. His priorities are in France or in US. His priorities should be in his own
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Priority should be in Manipur.
Why do you say that?
His priority should be his native people. What is his priority? Is his priority to only flag of Vande Bharat? What priority? People are dying here. 150 people have died. The women are being raped. And for him the priority is something else. And he does not have the courage to speak. RP Singh, I did not interrupt you. RP Singh, I did not interrupt you. Do not open your mouth. You are the biggest culprit in this country today. The so-called double-engine Sarkar has become a derailed Sarkar. What kind of double engine you have got?
No. That's why.
No, this is not fair.
When you say that Prime Minister Modi should answer, we are saying, okay, he will answer. He'll come on the debate.
He is bound to answer. He is bound to answer. He is a Pradhan Sevak. He has to speak inside the Parliament.
Not the Pradhan
He cannot take 36 seconds outside on the street. He cannot do it. He has to speak in the House. And this is what is
let me just.
Aam Aadmi Party MP, our Sanjay Singh has been suspended for asking a debate on Manipur.
No, he has been suspended for. No, listen.
Want to gag the voice.
You know, he has been suspended.
Parliament is there for the debate, not doing bhagda on the tables.
Ravi Srivastava.
Sanjay Singh do bhagda on the table.
Ravi Srivastava, listen, because you asked that the government should be sensitive, government should be handling it, I am telling you how the government handled it. And these are facts coming in from very responsible people of the country who are actually manning the situation, who are involved into the nitty-gritty of it.
Allow me to reply it and tell Mr.
I would allow you. I would allow you.
Not to please those when I am speaking.
I would allow you. I would allow you.
Yeah.
Sardar RP Singh also has facts because he represents the party which is in power, but I am just giving you some facts.
Let him reply.
3rd of May, listen. The High Court order came without taking any of the state government or the central government into confidence. On 3rd of May, the protest started 10 a.m. 1 p.m. the violence started. By the morning of May 5th, in 36 hours flat, or I think about 70 hours flat, 36,000 security personnel from across the country were flown into the Imphal Valley. In 70 hours, it was a major military operation that the Ministry of Home Affairs coordinated between various security agencies. Right? Helicopters and drones were deployed immediately. Kuldeep Singh, the former DG of the CRPF and the NIA, was made in charge of the operations. Typically, as it happens, violence has a spike in the first few days when the administration is responding, and then everything comes in control. And then we have seen some sporadic incidents happening wherever, So it's not that the government has not done, but unfortunately, Ravi Srivastava, both you and Lokesh did not answer my question, which was that You do what the opposition has to do, but what is your locus to ask Prime Minister to speak? While
you
in
told
part,
me the number of security
the
personnel
Congress
who were
party
mobilized.
never bothered to respond beyond the level of a MOS home. I think that was the point I wanted to make. Unfortunately, I've run out of time. We'll continue this conversation. We are not leaving Manipur's story unattended.
No.
And this is perhaps the 9th time I've been discussing this on prime time. We'll come back on this tomorrow again when the opposition MPs visit Manipur, and we'll ask questions both to the government and to the opposition on that note. Thank you, Lokesh. You dodged the questions again and again. Hopefully you would take them tomorrow. Thank you, Ravi Srivastav. Thank you, Sardar RP Singh, for joining us. Short break on the other side. Trending burning question.